Hello everybody and welcome to this video. I am super excited to film this video today because this has been a highly requested video. And I have finally been able to get all of my tips down for you guys to nail your first job as an RBT. Before we get into it, I do want to thank University of Cincinnati's online ABA program for sponsoring today's video. If you are looking to receive your ABA Master's program, look no further. I will go into more details regarding their fantastic program later on in the video, but let's go ahead and get you those tips. Alrighty guys, so you have finally become RBT certified. That means you have completed your RBT journey. If you completed your RBT journey with ABA Source, even better, you are even more prepared for this. But if you haven't, that's fine too. I will go ahead and give you some tips anyways. So when it comes to looking for a job, it can definitely be very nerve-wracking, I think, for anyone in any field. I personally have been working with agencies all across the country trying to help you guys find jobs. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you definitely should, because I post jobs on there all the time for you guys, and I do try to help you find some cases. Alrighty, so tip number 1, reply to all methods of communication within 12 hours, folks. A potential employer calls you and you just so happen to be at work when they called, that's fine, understandable, they leave you a message. Give them a call back within 12 hours. It should not be longer. Do you or do you not want the job? You know, that's basically how they see who is most interested. If you give it a whole day to call them back, this person maybe has other people in mind, other employers. So please be sure to give them a call back within 12 hours, or if it's an email, you email them back within 12 hours. I actually was trying to match this one RBT with a potential employer, and I really liked her. I spoke to the RBT and I thought she was a really good fit for this employer. And the employer actually got back to me and was like, and I don't think she's gonna be a good fit because she's taking too long to reply to my messages. And I was like, I promise you that she's really good. So I talked to the RBT and I let her know that on the employer side, it looked like uninterest, and she was sure to speed up her, responses. She ended up getting the job and the employer loved her. So my feeling about her being a good fit was good, but she almost didn't get the job. They almost gave up on her just because she didn't want to answer. So super simple, but you'd be surprised. A side note from that, when you are replying, via phone, we're always on our phone nowadays. I get it, you're not on the computer. And you know how iPhones say sent from iPhone or sent via iPhone or something? Just take 2 seconds and just erase that line before sending an email. There is no need for that to be on there. It's not the end of the world, but it looks better without it. So when you're talking to an employer, make sure that you get rid of that. It looks informal and like you just don't care. So just get rid of that line real quick, and that should also help the look of the email. Okay, the next tip that I have is submitting your application and submitting it promptly. So yes, some applications require a lot of information and you might need a couple days to fill it out and get everything together. It shouldn't take you that long though. I think a week is just way too long. Again, it looks like uninterest on your end. This other time I had an RBT that was taking too long to submit the paperwork. Again, the employer was like, I think this person's not interested because they're taking too long. Okay, so I call up the RBT and I'm like, hey, what's going on with paperwork? And turns out she was actually having trouble with a couple of lines on it. A couple of lines on the application. And I told her, I was like, why don't you just reach out and ask the employer what they mean by that? And she's like, I didn't even think of that. I'm like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with communicating if you are confused with a line on the application. If you need help, of course, you want to do everything right. So you taking the step to call them, being like, hey, I don't understand this, can you clarify it for me? They will do it in 2 seconds and you can get the ball rolling and keep moving. So any hesitations you guys have regarding anything in the application, just reach out, guys. They're not gonna bite you, they're not gonna hurt you. Simple tip again, but these are things that I keep seeing, so I am letting you know. Step number 3, do a little bit of research or a little bit of internet stalking, if you will. You know, when you're on Tinder and you're about to go on a date with a guy or a girl, you don't go without doing a little bit of research, a little bit of stalking, a little bit of creeping on the social media, on the website. This is kind of like a date, essentially. I mean, you're going to meet up and they want to learn about you, and you should make sure that they're a good fit for you by doing your research, right? So definitely look into their website, see, what they stand for, if there's something on the website that speaks to you, and casually mentioning during the interview, like, oh yeah, I saw on your social media, oh, I saw on the website. That's impressive because you've taken a couple steps on your own time to look into the company. And if you're the person interviewing, that's impressive. And I've heard really good things from employers where RBT candidates come in and they talk about their stalking on social media, and it looks really good. So it's not a bad idea to go ahead and do that and casually mention it in the interview. It will definitely help you. Okay, my next tip, and this one is super important, guys. So when it comes to talking about your previous employer, let's say that you might have had a falling out with a previous employer. It's always very important that you are honest with what happened. Things happen, guys. This is life. It's important to be honest with what happened, but it's also important to never badmouth the other, the people that you were working for. This would look bad on you. Even if you really think that you were right and you feel very strongly, don't badmouth. You could just, in general terms, let them know what happened. And that looks really good on your end. So let me tell you a story. So there was this one candidate that I had sent over to an employer, and she had a falling out with her previous employer, and she was very honest with during the interview, and she let them know, what happened, but she never badmouthed them. She, later on, when the employer called to confirm the story, when the interviewing employer called the previous employer to confirm the story, the previous employer went off. Like, she was badmouthing the heck out of that candidate. But what was super interesting from what I learned from this situation is that the employer was super impressed that the candidate didn't speak so poorly, about the other employer. That looks really good because, you are probably going to leave this position too one day, and you don't want to have people leaving your place of work and talking bad about your business, right? That's not polite. It looks bad, So actually she ended up getting the job anyways, because that did show that she had a really good character, and she would probably not do the same if something were to happen there. So she ended up getting the job. So it's okay to be honest, but keep it general, no bad mouthing, past is in the past, moving forward. Okay, so I want to interrupt the tips for just a second here and talk about our sponsors today, the University of Cincinnati's online ABA program, guys. So one of the best things about this program is the admission process. They make it so simple for people that are, working, going to school, raising families. I really appreciate how they take the time to make this as easy as possible to see if you can even get into the school, right? Because sometimes you do like this crazy admission process and they're like, nope, sorry, you're not in. Basically, to enroll into the program, all you need are the following: your unofficial transcript from your bachelor's program, 2 letters of references via email, so that's super simple again, your resume submission, and a goal statement. So what are your goals in ABA? Talk about why you're passionate about ABA. What do you envision yourself, 5 years from now doing? How did you get started into the field? Just a goal statement. And that's it. That is all you have to do to apply. And you will know within 2 to 4 weeks if you have been admitted into the program. Also have spring, summer, and fall enrollment, which is super helpful. So it's not like you have to wait a whole year to enroll again. You could, if it's spring right now, you can okay, I think in the fall I'm ready to apply. I'm ready to enroll, so you can go ahead and apply and start later on. And once you begin the program, you can be done with it within 5 semesters. That's 20 weeks. 20 weeks is what's in between you and your master's degree in ABA. All online, so crazy life proof, really good program. I will go ahead and leave the link down below if you are interested in applying. If you have any questions, go ahead and comment down below and I will answer them for you. Alrighty guys, for my last and final tip, this one kills me. This is like the simplest thing that you can do the day of the interview. You're gonna look so professional. So I know that in today's day and age, we're like stuck to our phones, right? We're just like staring at our phones all the time and you don't even realize just how often you're actually on it. But when it comes to the day of the interview, when you're inside and you come early, right? You show up early, you take a seat, you're waiting to be called in. Don't be on your phone. Do not be on TikTok, scrolling through TikTok. It just looks, it doesn't look good, guys. You're there to impress. You're there to almost show off a little bit, you know, like, look at me, I don't need to be on my phone. Stare at the wall, stare at the posters, you know, make conversation with the girl at the front. Don't look at your phone. The last thing that somebody wants to see is, imagine you're the interviewer, you come out and you see your potential candidate now scrolling through TikTok. Like, it's not a good look. So please, for the love of God, don't do that. If you are interested in more tips and tricks, I do have a brand new interviewer ebook out now, available on my website, abasource.com. I do also have questions. So if you are nervous about what they will ask you, I have questions in my ebook with example responses to help with that anxiety. I hope you enjoyed this video. I wish you guys the best of luck on your interview journey. And if you have any questions, like always, you can always comment. I try my best to reply. Have a good day. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.
And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.